We are witnessing the final collapse of the general computing era, the paradigm that defined the last 60 years, where we designed a chip, wrote a static piece of software, and waited for Moore's law to make it run faster, has officially reached its physical limit. Jensen Huang has been screaming this from the rooftops, but the market is only now beginning to grasp the severity of the pivot. We aren't just looking at faster processors, we are looking at the total replacement of the CPU-centric world with a model where the data center itself is the unit of computation. The Blackwell architecture is the first true manifestation of this shift, and the sheer desperation for this silicon has reached a point that can only be described as a computational gold rush. When Jensen talks about Blackwell demand being insane, he isn't using hyperbole for the sake of shareholders. He is describing a supply chain that is fundamentally incapable of keeping up with the transition from traditional software to generative AI. Every major hyperscaler is currently in a defensive crouch, trying to secure enough H200 and Blackwell units to ensure they aren't rendered obsolete by the end of 2026. The shift to accelerated computing is no longer a choice, it is a survival mechanism. If you are still relying on a traditional serial processing architecture, you are effectively paying a tax in the form of wasted electricity and missed opportunities. By offloading the heavy lifting to parallel processors and using CUDA as the bridge, NVIDIA has managed to deliver a performance increase that doesn't just double every 2 years, it is increasing by a factor of 10 every single year. This hyper-Moore's law is driven by a radical rethinking of what a number is worth. In the old world, we demanded 64-bit precision for everything. In the AI factory, we've realized that for neural networks, good enough is often better than perfect. By moving to lower precision formats like FP8 and eventually FP4, NVIDIA is able to cram exponentially more math into the same thermal envelope. This allows a single Blackwell rack to perform more operations than the world's fastest supercomputers of just 5 years ago. This is why the data center is being rebranded as an intelligence factory. Just as the factories of the 19th century took raw materials and turned them into physical goods, these new structures take raw electricity and data and turn them into a high-value commodity, tokens of intelligence. However, this transition is happening against a backdrop of intense geopolitical friction. When a single chip becomes the most valuable asset on the planet, it inevitably enters the crosshairs of national security. While Jensen is focused on the architecture of the future, federal agents have been dismantling the architecture of the shadow market. A massive smuggling operation centered in a warehouse in Secaucus, New Jersey, recently exposed the lengths to which entities will go to bypass export controls. The ring allegedly funneled $160 million worth of restricted NVIDIA GPUs to China. Using a sophisticated network of front companies, they weren't just moving gaming cards, they were moving the high-end silicon required to build sovereign AI clusters. The details of the bust are a reminder of how high the stakes have become. Operatives were reportedly mislabeling boxes, using a phony entity called Sanan to mask the NVIDIA branding, and routing shipments through Singapore and Hong Kong to scrub the digital paper trail. The fact that an operation of this scale could exist in a suburban New Jersey warehouse highlights the massive demand-side pressure coming from countries currently blocked from legitimate purchases. This creates a bizarre paradox for the American government. They want to protect national security, but they also recognize that these chips are the primary engine of global economic growth. This tension reached a fever pitch with the recent suggestion of a protection fee for semiconductor exports. The idea of placing a 25% tariff on H200 chips destined for China, as proposed by the Trump administration, has thrown the industry into a state of total confusion. If the US moves to a pay-to-play model for restricted technology, it fundamentally changes the nature of export controls. It transforms a national security blockade into a massive revenue stream. For NVIDIA, this adds a layer of regulatory complexity that is almost as difficult to navigate as the thermal challenges of the Blackwell die. They are trying to build the future of human intelligence while being used as a pawn in a global trade war. Despite these headwinds, the roadmap for 2026 and 2027 remains aggressive. The successor to Blackwell, the Rubin architecture, is already being teased. Rubin isn't just a chip, it's a total system overhaul that will feature HBM4 high-bandwidth memory and a new generation of NVLink interconnects. The goal is to move beyond the current bottleneck of memory wall issues. In the current generation, we can do the math incredibly fast, but we struggle to move the data into the processor fast enough. Rubin is designed to shatter that wall, allowing for models that are orders of magnitude larger than GPT-4 to run with the fluidity of a human conversation. The implications for the financial markets are unprecedented. We are looking at a company that is hitting a $4.6 trillion valuation, not because of a speculative bubble, but because it owns the only refinery for the world's most valuable resource. Every dollar spent on an NVIDIA GPU is an investment in a future where intelligence has a near-zero marginal cost. This creates a deflationary pressure on information-based work that will ripple through every sector of the economy. If you can generate a year's worth of legal research, software code, or architectural designs for the price of a few kilowatt hours, the entire structure of the labor market is rewritten. This is why the sovereign AI movement is gaining such momentum. Nations are realizing that they cannot afford to be colonized by another country's intelligence. They need their own factories, their own data, and their own silicon to maintain their cultural and economic independence. The next frontier is what Jensen calls physical AI. Up until now, AI has been a ghost in the machine, a disembodied voice, or a generator of text and pixels. But the era of the ActBot is officially here. This is the transition from AI that thinks to AI that does. The foundation for this is Project GR00T, a multimodal model designed to serve as the universal brain for humanoid robots. This isn't just about making a robot that can walk. It's about making a robot that can learn by watching. By using generative physical AI, these machines can observe a human performing a task, whether it's folding laundry or assembling a complex engine, and translate those visual inputs into precise motor controls. This is where the NVIDIA Omniverse becomes the most important laboratory in the world. It is a digital twin of reality, governed by the laws of physics. In this virtual space, NVIDIA can train millions of robot clones simultaneously. They can experience edge cases that would be too dangerous or expensive to test in the real world, like a robot slipping on a wet floor or dealing with a mechanical failure. By the time a physical robot is deployed in a factory, it has already lived through 10,000 years of simulated experience. This sim-to-real pipeline is the key to scaling robotics in the same way we scaled large language models. The Blackwell chips are the engines that power these simulations, creating a feedback loop where silicon is used to train the very machines that will eventually build the next generation of silicon. The move into robotics is also a direct response to the global labor shortage and the aging demographics of the developed world. Jensen is positioning NVIDIA as the solution to the productivity gap. In a world where there aren't enough humans to staff every factory or care for every elderly citizen, the humanoid robot becomes a necessity. These machines will be powered by the same agentic architecture we are seeing in the software space. They won't need a human to give them step-by-step instructions. They will be given a high-level goal, clean this room, or package these items, and they will use their internal world models to plan and execute the necessary steps. This brings us to Jensen's internal management philosophy, which has become a case study for business schools worldwide. To manage a company that is moving at this speed, Jensen has eliminated the traditional corporate hierarchy. He has 50 direct reports and 0 one-on-one meetings. This isn't just a quirk of his personality, it is a structural requirement for a company at the center of a technological revolution. In a flat organization, information moves at the speed of light. When Jensen hears about a breakthrough in a research lab or a bottleneck in a manufacturing plant, that information is shared with the entire leadership team instantly. There is no middle management to filter the truth or protect their own silos. This transparency allows NVIDIA to pivot in weeks, while its competitors take quarters or years to adjust their strategy. His advice to the next generation of leaders and students is equally unconventional. He tells them not to learn to code in the traditional sense, but to learn how to solve problems using the tools of the new era. The coding language of the future is natural language. The compiler is a neural network. The value of a human worker in 2026 isn't in their ability to perform repetitive cognitive tasks, but in their ability to provide the intent and the judgment that guides the AI. This is a profound shift in the human-machine relationship. We are moving from being operators of computers to being directors of intelligence. But this future is not without its environmental and logistical costs. The power requirements of a Blackwell-based data center are immense, often exceeding 100 megawatts for a single cluster. This has sparked a nuclear renaissance as tech giants like Microsoft, Amazon, and Google scramble to secure dedicated power sources. We are seeing deals to restart shuttered nuclear plants and investments in small modular reactors. The AI factory is quite literally warping the energy grid of the planet. Jensen's response to this is computational efficiency. He argues that by accelerating a task, you are actually saving energy compared to running it slowly on a fleet of inefficient CPUs. He views the GPU not as a consumer of power, but as a saver of power through sheer performance density. As we look toward the horizon of 2027, the roadmap includes the full integration of agentic AI into the enterprise. We will see systems that can manage entire supply chains, conduct scientific research, and even handle customer service with a level of autonomy that makes current chatbots look like toys. The Rubin architecture will provide the massive memory bandwidth required to make these agents remember long-term goals and complex context. We are moving toward a world of perpetual computing where the AI is always on, always learning, and always optimizing the systems it manages. The story of NVIDIA is the story of a company that bet on a future that no one else believed in. While the rest of the industry was focused on the mobile revolution or the social media era, Jensen was quietly building the foundation for the intelligence era. Now that the rest of the world has caught up, NVIDIA is so far ahead that it is effectively competing with its own past achievements. The Blackwell insane demand is a signal that we have crossed the Rubicon. There is no going back to the old ways of computing. We are now living in a world defined by the speed of light, the density of silicon, and the sheer audacity of a man in a leather jacket who decided to build a factory for thought. The next few years will be a period of intense volatility and incredible breakthrough. We will see the resolution of the smuggling cases, the outcome of the protection fee tariffs, and the birth of the first truly autonomous factories. Through it all, the cadence of the releases, from Hopper to Blackwell to Rubin, will remain the heartbeat of the global economy. The transition to accelerated computing is the most significant event in the history of technology, and we are only in the early chapters. If you found this deep dive into the strategic landscape of NVIDIA and the future of global intelligence useful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to CEO Storytime. We are committed to bringing you the most detailed, factual, and immersive reporting on the business leaders and technological shifts that are changing our world in real time. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next investigation into the high-stakes world of the global CEO. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.